We're here at Linden Street Baptist Church where we're able to talk with Pastor Michael Barnes about his new book on Genesis 3 called Sin, the Global Catastrophe.
So what's big man Joe Staley doing? He's celebrating a touchdown he didn't score. The odds of a guy like Joe scoring a real touchdown are the same as zero. Worming his way out of here.
I've written a book that's not on a word that's not spoken too much today in churches or out in the public, and we try to avoid it, but it's based on sin, the global catastrophe. It's a theologically based book on Genesis 3. It takes you back to the Garden of Eden where sin originated with Adam and Eve, and where God planted them in the garden and sin entered in, and from that point we're all descendants of Adam and Eve, and unfortunately through that we inherited a sin nature of ourselves also. And of course the book leads you through events. And instead of doing it by chapters, as I studied this Genesis 3, I kept looking at it, and I was thinking, you know, this thing happened in events, and I felt the Lord lead me to talk more about sin. And as I was working on a sermon to start with, it turned into a 165-page book. And being around other pastors and being in conventions, and I got to notice as I went through, nobody's talking about sin. And when we call it something else, you know, we try to code it up a little bit to look better than just saying, hey, sin. You know, and the church itself is made up of sinners. The church is a hospital, sort of, to say, and it's a place of refuge for people to come. And a lot of people, when they look at the church, they're thinking, well, you know, maybe I'd like to go there, but I can't, you know, because I've had this in my life. That's what we've got here. And every church has that. It's people, we all started at the same place. And it all come from Adam and Eve. I don't consider myself an author or a writer, so I said, you know, the grammar things and all that, you know, the first few cuts of the book were just unpolished and a little rough on the edges. But the one that come out today, November the 1st here, is the one that's supposed to be the one I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to leave it be like it is. But yeah, you know, I'm looking at some other things, and like I said, I don't consider myself an author. And this is a self-published book, and hopefully the next one I can get published, that maybe it'll go a little bit further than self-publishing, you know. And it's hard to do. It takes a lot of time, but it's something that I like to get into the hands of people. Those are saved and unsaved. I think they both enjoy that, and they can see exactly where the origination of this come from. And we have choices to make. Everybody has choices. I understand people, each day you get up, you have a choice to make. You know, what you're going to do, what you're going to wear, where you're going to go. And we have choices in life today. But a lot of people, the result of what they're dealing with today is due to sin, and it's the choices they've made in the past that you have to deal with in the present. And this book leads you in that direction.
The book is available for purchase on Amazon and BarnesandNoble.com. For WBON TV, I'm Nolan Pettit.